Hi everyone, this video is about the packet tracer activity from chapter 5. It is entitled as the Examine the ARP Table. Let's start. This is the addressing table and the objectives of this activity is examine an ARP request. Next is examine the switch MAC address table. And part 3 is examine the ARP process and remote communication. The background is this activity is optimized for viewing PDUs. The devices are already configured. You will gather PDU information in simulation mode and answer a series of questions about the data you collect. Part 1. Examine an ARP request. Step 1 is generate ARP request by pinging 172.16.31.3 from 172.16.31.2. So click 172.16.31.2. So this is 172.16.31.2. And then we will open the command prompt. So command prompt is from desktop and command prompt. So next is enter the ARP and then -D. So let's enter it. And then command to clear the ARP table. The next is we will enter the simulation mode. This is simulation mode. And we will next is and enter the command ping 172.16.31.3. So here we will write ping 172.16.31.3, and then two PDUs will be generated. The ping command cannot complete the ICMP packet without knowing the MAC address of the destination. So the computer sends an ARP broadcast frame to find the MAC address of the destination. Then now click the capture forward to move once, and then the ARP PDU moves switch 1. This is a switch 1 ARP while the ICMP PDU disappears. Waiting for the ARP reply, open the PDU and record the destination MAC address. So we'll open the PDU and then is this address listed in the table above? So is no. Then next, click capture forward to move the PDU to the next device. So it is how many copies of the PDU did switch 1? So it has 3, which is we are here, and then when we click the capture forward, the switch 1 provide copy for these 3. So next is what is the IP address of the device that accepted the PDU? So the IP address of the device that accepts the PDU is this the 172.16.31.3. So next, open the PDU and examine layer 2. What happened to the source and destination MAC address? So So next, what happened to the source and destination MAC addresses? So the source become the destination, and the FF, the 4F that FF that FFRP become a what I mean is turned into the MAC address of 172.16.31.3. Then next, click capture forward until the PDU turns to 172.16.31.2. So to 1.3 and switch. Yeah, it's become the 172.16.31.2. So how many copies of the video did the switch make during the ARP reply? So it has 1, 2, 3, 4. It provides 4 copies of this. Then next is on step 2. Examine the ARP table. Note that the ICMP packet reappears. Open the PD and examine the MAC addresses. Do the MAC addresses of the source and destination align with their IP addresses? So, yes, the MAC addresses of the source and destination align with their IP addresses. Next, switch back to real time and the ping complete. So, we will go back here at real time and then see if the ping is complete. So, as you can see, the ping was complete and it replies 4 times. So, next is click 172.16.31.2 and enter the command source 172.16.31.2, and then we will type the ARP-A command. So let's enter. To what IP address does the MAC address entry correspond? So it corresponds to the 1.172.16.31.3. Then next, in general, when does an end device issue an ARP request? So when it does not know the receiver's MAC address, it and in the end device issue an ARP request. The next part, to examine a switch MAC address table. Generate additional traffic to populate the switch MAC address table from 172.16.31.2. Enter the ping 172.16.31.4 command. So we will click the 1.72.16.31.4 and then we will ping here at command prompt D ping 172.16.31. Oops, it's wrong. We'll here at 32.2 and then command prompt we will ping the 172.16.31.4, then enter. So it has a reply. So click the 10.10.10.2 and open the command prompt. So command prompt. Next, enter the ping 10.10.10.2, and it has a reply. So how many replies were sent and received? So it has 4 replies here and 4 receives. So next is step 3. Examine the MAC address table on the switches. Click switch 1 and then the CLI tab. So switch 1 and the CLI tab, enter, then we will type the show MAC address dash table command. So this is what show in MAC address tables. So next, do the entries correspond to those in the table above? So it is yes. It correspond to those tables above. And then next is click switch 0, then the CLI. So this is the switch 0 and then CLI, and then enter and show MAC address table, then enter. Yes, it is also correspond to those in the table above. So next is, why are 2 MAC addresses associated with one port? It is 2 MAC addresses associated with one port because both devices connect to one port through the access point. So next is, let's proceed on part 3, which is examine the ARP process and remote communication. Step 1. Generate traffic to produce ARP traffic. Click 172.16.31.2, then open the command prompt, and then enter the ping. So let's enter the ping 10.10.10.1 command. So it has a reply. Then next is type ARP-A, ARP space dash A. So what is the IP address of the new ARP table entries? The next, the IP address of new ARP table entry is 172.16.31.1. The next is repeat the ping to 10.10.10. How many PDUs appear? So let's ping 10.10.10.1. So how many PDUs appear? It has 2 PDUs. So next, the destination, click capture forward, click the PDU that is now at. So we will go on this simulation mode and we will capture forward and then click the PDU that is now at switch 1. What is the target destination IP destination address of the ARP? So this is the 172.16.31.1, which is the new IP address that is, and that is the new ARP table entry. The next, the destination IP address is not 10.10.10.10.1. Why? Because the 10.10.10.1 is the gateway address of the router interface that is stored in the IPv4 configuration of the host. And if the receiving host is not on the same network, then the source uses the ARP process to determine the MAC address for the router interface serving as the gateway. So next, step 2, examine the ARP table and router 1. So switch to real-time mode. We are now in real-time mode. And then enter privilege exec mode and then the show MAC address table. So we will go here on, we will click on router 1 and then CLI and then enter. Then we will enter the privilege exec mode. So we are now in exec mode, so we will type enable. Then now we are now here in privilege exec mode, so we will type now the show MAC address table and enter. Then how many MAC addresses are in the table and why? So there is no um there is no MAC address that is displayed on the table because this command means something completely different than the switch command show the MAC address table. Then next, enter the show ARP command. So show ARP, show ARP space show ARP. Then is there an entry for 172.16.31.2? So yes, there is an entry for 172.16.31.2. And what happens to the first ping in a situation where the router responds to the ARP request? So it times out here. So that's all, and thank you for watching this video. I hope you understand it.